Welcome to our Ukulele Pros lesson. Today I'm Terry Carter. We're going Margaritaville, and we're going to do the whole song. We're going to play it and we're going to sing it. But mainly I'm going to show you how to do the chords and the strum pattern. So let me play a little bit for you and then we'll talk about it. Nibbling on sponge cake, watching the sun bake. All those tourists covered with oil. I'm strumming my full string on the front porch swing. Smell those shrimp, they're beginning to boil. Wasting away again in Margaritaville, searching for my lost shaker of salt. Some people saying there's a woman to blame, but I know it's nobody's fault. So that's the intro, verse, and the chorus. I've done a lesson already on this as far as the intro was concerned, so I'm not going to go over that, but I am going to do a favor for you. I'm going to flash it on the screen for you here in just a second. And don't forget, these are part of our daily lessons. These are live. They go to Facebook, they go to YouTube, they go to the website. If you're interested in a little bit more structure and you need a little bit more help, step-by-step lessons, check out the Ukulele Pros membership. I have level 1, level 2, new lessons added every week. We're getting close to 100 lessons, and you can find all that at ukulelepros.com. All right, where should we jump here? So let's jump right into how we start this song. I'm just going to show this up here. So this is the intro. I have a whole separate lesson on the intro if you want to go over it, but here it is. You can take a look at it, and I'll just play it for you real quick, and then I'll show you the chords. 1, 2, 3, and... One more time, 3, and... Now, let's get to the chord. So the intro is actually going to look like this, and these are the chords for the intro. So it's D, G, A, D, and D. So let's go over all these, and then I'll talk about the strum pattern. So we start off with just our regular old D chord, and I finger this slightly different than maybe some of you. And I actually had a buddy of mine, Billy Cheeseman, that sent me some texts the other day where he was trying to figure out a good way to finger the D chord because his fingers were having trouble doing some of the ways that people show you. So the way I do it is I take my first finger and I bar strings 4 and 3 at the 2nd fret, and then my second finger is on the 2nd string, 2nd fret, and then open 1st string, and so that's how I form my D chord. So we got a measure of D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then notice the next chord goes to G chord. This is an intro again. So open 4th string, 1st finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, and my 2nd or middle fingers on the 1st string, 2nd fret. So G4 measure, 2, 3, 4. Then it goes to the A chord for a measure, and the way I'm playing that is just 2nd finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret, 1st finger on the 3rd string, 1st fret, open 2nd, open 1st, A, and then notice it goes back to the D chord for 2 measures. Now here's the great thing about the song. That's it. three chords, D, G, and A. Now there's a few things that I'll show you some tricks on in a little while, and there's a spot where you can actually do a D7 chord, but don't need that to play this. You can play it with just these three chords and it sounds fine. So when you're playing the intro, it's over this chord. So da 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 da, dee da 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 da, dee da dee da da da, and then D again. And there's the intro. Let's talk about the strum pattern. So I'm going to throw that up here on the screen. And let's do this just with, let me get all this stuff off the screen here. All right, there we go. And here's the strum pattern. So we're going to use a D chord to demonstrate this. And the strum pattern is going to go down, down, up. And then there's a tie, up, down, up. So down, down, up, down, up. Or 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. I'm using my first finger for this, and I'm strumming right where the body and the ukulele and the neck meet. Okay, so let's try that with me. Just on a D chord. 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3. So it's down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. One more time. Down, down, up, down, up. So let's apply that now to the intro. So let me get this off the screen. Let me throw this back up. I'm going to take the chord away. That way you have to have these three chords memorized. And that's the key to not only this lesson, but your ukulele songs, is get these chords memorized. And these are part of your open position chords, which are the most essential chords that you can have. Okay, so here we go. Let's try it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's D, G, A, and D. And that's the intro. And again, that would be over. So let's try it, strumming again. 2, 3, and D, G, da da da, dee da, A, ba da, dee da da, D, and then D again. All right, so now let's move on to the next part, which is the verse. The verse is a little simpler because it doesn't change chords as much. So if I throw this up here. So here's the first half of the verse. It's just D for, notice how many measures? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 measures, and then it goes to the A chord for 2 measures. So let's start this. 1, 2, 3, and D. No singing yet. D again. Same strum pattern. Down, down, up, down, up. That's 4, 5, 6. Now goes to the A chord for measure 7 and measure 8. And then the next part of the verse stays on the A, stays on the A, stays on the A, stays on the A. That's 4, 5, 6, and then right back to the D chord. And one more time. So that's our verse. Okay, so before I show you the chorus, let me see here if I can do this special magic trick again that I've been working on. There we go. All right. So here we go. Let me take this off the bottom. All right, so here we go. We're going to look at the intro now and the verse, and I'm going to sing when the verse comes in. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, D. G, here's our intro. A, and D. All right, now here's our verse. Nibbling on sponge cake and nibbling on sponge cake, watching the sun bake. All those tourists covered with oil. I'm strumming my 4th string on the front porch swing. Smell those shrimp, they're beginning to boil. Now let's go to the chorus. Let me play it once and I'll show you. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. We're looking at the chorus again. Searching for my love shaker of salt. Some people claim there's a woman to blame, but I know it's nobody's fault. All right, let's jump into this chorus now, and whoo, magic. So the chorus doesn't have any new chords here. Let me pull it up. This is the first part of the chorus here. It just goes to G though, so it goes to the 4 chord, D, E, F, G, the G chord. So G for a measure, A, and then D. Now notice, wait, is that wasting? Does it go 2 times? It might go wasting away again in Margaritaville. So that D right there, that should be 2 measures. So little mistake. No big deal. Here we go. So let's try the intro where the repeat signs are. So I'm looking there and there. Okay. Here we go. 2, 3. So G chord, A, and D. Now D again. Now those repeat signs. So G, A, and D. Now D again. Now we're going on to the G chord, A. Now notice this. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we're looking at this right here, and it's got a D chord for a half note for 2 beats. So D and A, and then G for 4 beats. That's a whole note. So just these 2 bars right here are going to sound like this. 2, 3, and D, A, G, 2, 3, 4. So let's try that from right here. Right on this G, A, and then this new part we just learned. 2, G chord, 3, and now A. Now here we go with the half note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we look at the last part of the chorus here, which is A, 2 bars, and then to D. Okay, so let's go ahead now and play this chorus only, and I'll add the singing to it. All right, so here we go. And your words are wasting away in Margaritaville. Your first chord is a G. 1, 2, 3, and wasting away again in Margaritaville. Now one more D. Now repeat. And searching for my love shaker of salt. Now going on to the G chord. And some people claim there's a woman to blame, but I know it's nobody's fault. And guess what? After that, back to the verse again. We do verse 2, chorus 2, then the normal song has a little solo section. We're just going to skip it. We're going to go back to the verse and then back to the last chorus again, and then just end right there on our D chord. So let me check to see if we got any comments going on here. Let me get that off the screen for now. Check and see who's here with me today live. I'm coming from you from Marina del Rey, and I see Carol's here from France, and Heather's here, and awesome. So good to have you. Thank you for being here. So let me do a little studio magic here. I'm going to put this up. I'm going to put that like this, and I'm going to put that. Okay. So there we have, you can see the whole song. Rewind. I want to show you one last thing here because I might do it this time when I'm going live. Sometimes on these chords, I'm going to play something like this. I may vary the strum pattern slightly, but you don't need to do it. But I do add, when I'm doing my D chord, I make this a D sus4 chord at times. And the way I do that is just simply taking your D chord that you have and just adding your pink or your third finger, or whatever finger you're using, to the second string, third fret, until you got D. And then if I add just that finger to the second string, third fret, I get a D sus4 chord. Back to D. Add the finger to D sus4. So I'll do that from time to time. So, nibbling on sponge cake, watching the sun bake, all those tourists covered with oil. Then I do the same thing on an A chord. So when I'm playing my A, regular A, what I'll do is I'll add my third finger here to the third string second fret, and that will give me an A sus4 chord. So A, add the third finger to the third string second fret, and you get that sus4 chord. So I'll interchange that too. A sus4, A, and A sus4. So that gives it a little bit of excitement in the song, and you'll hear that in the original recording. But if that's too much, you don't have to do it. You can just play D, G, and A for the whole song. The sus4, the D sus4, the A sus4 just adds a little color to it. You might see me doing that when we do it, and so that's what I'm doing. All right, let me go back to our screen here. We're going to do this with the backing track, and as I mentioned, we're going to do intro, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, and then we'll end it right there. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. All right, so this is fairly long backing track. So let me see here if I can get my sound working. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Da 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 dee da dee da da dee da dee da dee da da da. Here's your verse. Loving on sponge cake, watching the sun bake, all those tourists covered with oil. I'm strumming my full string on the front porch swing. Smell those shrimp, they're beginning to boil. Here's your chorus. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. Searching for my life shaker of salt. Some people claim there's no one to blame, but I know it's nobody's fault. Now back to the verse, here we go. I don't know the reason I stayed here all season. Sus4, nothing to show but this brand new tattoo. A sus4, but it's a real beauty, a Mexican cutie. How it got here, I haven't a clue. Here's your chorus. Wasting away again in verse. Here we go. I blew out my flip-flop. I stepped on a pop-top. Cut my heel, had to cruise on back home. But there's booze in the blender, and it will soon render that frozen concoction that helps me hang on. Here's your chorus. Wasting away again in Margaritaville, searching for my lost shaker of salt. Some people claim there's a woman to blame, but I know it's my own downfall. I'm gonna end right here, and we'll get back to there. All right, so there's Margaritaville. You got the intro, verse, and chorus. You got the whole song. I see a couple people checked in here. Errol checked in, and Steve checked in. So thank you for being here. And as always, thank you for spreading the word about Ukulele to Pros. Without you there, I wouldn't be here doing this. So thank you for that. And we're going to take you out with our new little outro and intro video. So I will see you in the next lesson.